to our next episode in Families into Bushcraft series. In this episode, we'll be doing knife work.
It's so important in bushcraft to teach knife skills because there's so much can be done once you actually know how to use a knife correctly.
And so every time you start to do knife skills with kids, reiterate exactly what the safety points are. It is so important. But get it right, and knife skills are such good fun.
When we start children off with knife skills, we generally actually start them off, depending on the age of course, obviously older children not so much, but little ones, we actually start with a carrot and a potato peeler, because as they're peeling the carrot, they're using the same skills as they would be doing for whittling. So they're not digging in, they've just got to be very gentle as they go across the carrot. And then they get the carrot to eat afterwards, so they get two treats in one.
Okay, so a couple of years ago we came up with what we think is an ingenious little bit of kit to help with regards to the safety of the kids when they're learning how to whittle. And that is this puppy. And all it is a Coke bottle with the top part cut off. Obviously we took off the spout as well, so you can see that's the situation. We use that for getting water in at some time or other. And then we put gaffer tape around it. Now the beauty of this is that we can then show the kids how to whittle and at the same time protect their hands. So my hand goes into the bottle, the stick goes into the bottle from that direction there. I take out my knife and I can whittle away. Now generally what you find is kids, they start to hack it, they really want to get at this piece of wood and whittle it down. The great thing is this actually protects the hands. It's a great way of doing things. We found that we've got great success from it, and in actual fact we've had kids as young as 5-year-old whittling using this to protect the hands. When the parents see this, they absolutely love it, and they can see that we have the kids' welfare at heart. So there it is, top of the Coke bottle, and it needs to be the type of Coke bottle that comes sharply to a point as well. The rounded ones don't work so well, so it comes down sharply to a point. Stick your hand in, stick the stick through, and away we go from there. Nice and easy, and the kids are well protected.
One of the things we always insist on when the children are whittling is that they're in a seated position. When they're sat down, they're concentrating more on what they're doing with their hands, and they haven't got the urge as much, especially once they've got the knives in their hands, to get up and walk about. We make sure that they're sat down, and they know they've got to be sat down as long as they've got that knife in their hand.
Okay, so once the kids are starting to get a little bit of confidence with the use of the knives, we then go on to 3 little projects that are easy for them to do, and it's things that are used generally on a day-to-day basis within bushcraft. Okay, so the first thing that we teach them is how to whittle a point. So all we do is we get them to nice and easily make a point on the end of the stick. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make a peg notch. So I'm pretty sure you can see where we're coming from here. Okay, now then, what we need to do is we need to make a stop cut around about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the top of the stick, remembering that we've already got the point at this end. So there are 2 ways of doing this. We can either use a saw or we can use a knife. We do not let the kids use the knife in this situation, because with a knife it's a lot of to and fro with it, and it's quite easy for them to slip off and cause some damage. So let's just get rid of the knife. We'll put it back in its sheath, and we're going to use the hand saw. So all we're going to do is cut into the wood about 1/3 of the distance through. From there we now do go to our knife And all we do is we use the thumb lever to then cut out the excess wood, just like so, and out it comes, and there you have the peg notch. So we have whittled our point, we have cut in our peg notch, and now what we're going to do is we're going to round the top so that when we hit it with a mallet to get it into the ground, it won't spur out. Okay, so all we do, take our knife, and using again the thumb push or the thumb lever, we're just going to round off the top. And there we go, the top is now rounded off. So this is what we call crowning. So crowning, peg notch, and our point.
Just as Craig's showing you there, even when you've got a turkey peeler and a carrot, that action can still be practiced. You can still do the thumb push and get them to round off the top of their carrot. The next thing we're going to have a look at is your grips. The first grip we're going to look at is the forehand grip. The knife goes in between your finger and your thumb, and you close your hand around it, so you've got a really tight, secure grip on your knife. From the forehand grip position, you place your thumb on the spine of the knife, you bring up your stick towards your knife, put your thumb of the hand holding the stick on top of your other thumb, and you push gently, pushing off small amounts and working very closely with the wood.
Okay, so the next grip we're going to use is the chest lever grip. Now this is a really powerful grip and used to move an awful lot of wood at one time. So the idea is to bring everything up to our chest, hold the knife like so. Okay, it's not quite a reverse grip, it's not quite a forehand grip, you're actually turning it to that angle and you put your thumb on top of the blade. From there, all we're going to do is pull, and you can see how powerful that can be. And all I'm doing is pulling my shoulders back, and you can see that really is taking off a lot of wood. So as Tracy says, one of the things we don't want the kids to do is to be walking around with knives in the hand. Whenever they're using the knife, if they want to move from A to B, we always make sure that they put the knife back into the sheath before they get up and walk away.
Right then, now I'm going to pass you over to Trouble and Bother. Yeah, that's Luke and Josh for you. And they're going to give you some useful little tips while you're actually working with the knives.
When you're whittling, you always want to keep a space called your bubble. And your bubble's where you can use your knife, but make sure there's no people around within arm's length. Because if you go off and hit someone, they're going to start bleeding.
Anytime I whittle, I always keep the my stick outside of my leg. I never cut in between my legs because you could hit your artery. Yeah! Can I roll the knife, Luke, please?
Yeah, sure.
Cheers.
Right.
Okay, so one of the safety points that we tell the kids as well is we never allow them to stab the knife into the wood, because obviously what can happen there is the hand can slip down, go straight over the blade, and they are going to get hurt. So we do not allow them to do that. If they need to do that, they hold the knife like that, use a baton and tap it in.
Luke, Josh, come on. Come and say hi. Sorry guys, can't get them to come over. They're too busy climbing the tree, I'm afraid.
They're about 30 foot up.
So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and learnt something new.
Yeah, and don't forget to
Like us
comment
and hit that subscribe button, please.
Catch you later, guys.
Bye for now.
The Bushcraft family. Dead letter. Dead letter. Dead letter. Dead letter. Dead letter.